Hey guys, it's Trippie. I have done a lot of traveling this year and in the past years, and I've learned a lot of things as I've done this travel. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of outsmart the system, spend a little less money, get a lot more value if you know what to do and where to look. So today I'm here with you to share my secrets in travel. So you're thinking about going somewhere, but you don't know where, and you don't want to spend a bunch of money. A lot of people, which is what I used to do, which is not travel, but there are some things you can do to ensure that you can get way better prices for your travel. The first thing people do, and a lot of people know about this, and it's a good jumping off point, is looking on Google Flights. Instead of sticking to just one airline, you can take a look at Google Flights and compare prices and see what has the cheapest opportunities available. Now, you want to take it a step further? I got a little trick for you. There's this app called Skiplagged. I fucking love Skiplagged. Skiplagged does this kind of thing. I don't know how they swing it, but it's really cool. Say you want to fly from Redmond, Oregon to LAX, and you look at flights from Redmond, Oregon to LAX, and they're $800. But say there's a flight going from Redmond to Phoenix for $400, and it has a stop in LAX. If you book that flight through Skiplagged, you can take that first connecting flight and then skip the second connecting flight and save money on that. The only thing is, you kind of can't check a bag or else your bag's gonna go to Phoenix. But it's a really cool way to travel on a budget and to kind of outsmart that system a little bit. So that's kind of one step further that I like to take it when I'm looking to get a budget flight. There's been a lot of dialogue recently about Airbnb versus hotels. Airbnb, you get a whole house, you get to feel like you're part of the neighborhood, it can feel more luxurious. And to be fair, Airbnbs kind of used to be priced better than hotels. But nowadays, hotels and Airbnbs are at about the same price. If not, Airbnbs are more expensive. You're paying for the cleaning fee, you're paying for the Airbnb service fee. Sometimes you go book something and it's like $700 more than you expected, which is absolutely ridiculous. So for me, I've been kind of comparing and contrasting the options of Airbnb versus hotels. So if you're traveling on a budget, don't forget about hotels. Breakfast, they clean your bed, clean your towels, and they don't charge you the extra cleaning fee. It's a pretty sweet option. So don't forget about hotels. But if you are going to go the Airbnb route, there's a couple of tricks that I would suggest to make your trip more affordable and easier. One of these things kind of ties into my next tip. I like to travel during the off season. When you travel during the off season, you benefit in a lot of ways. Lower prices on everything, lower premiums, fewer people, and better options. Now, if you're a little bit of a bargainer, if you're a bit of a bargainer like me, you can get on Airbnb, try to find something for off-season travel where you want to go, and hit up the host and say, hey, I'm just wondering if you by any chance could offer me a discount on this because it's in the off-season, it's very unlikely that your home is going to get booked, and it's really good to do a little research before this, but if you bring it to them and you say, I have some competitive homes for a similar but cheaper price point, but I would rather stay at yours, and if you present this information to them respectfully, you'll often get a discount. The best tip for that is to do it kind of last minute. So for example, recently, I went to Italy in October. I didn't feel like spending $7,000 to stay on the Amalfi Coast, which is a very expensive and a very desirable part of Italy. So what we did instead was we booked an Airbnb with my friends about 3 days before we were headed there. We hit up the host and we said these things. It is the off season. Your home is unlikely to get booked by anyone else. Here are some offers that we've seen from homes nearby that are cheaper, and see if they can offer you a discount. And I will say 99% of the time it happens, because the owner of the home would rather get you to pay them something versus nothing. And you are right, if you go in the off season, there's a chance no one else is going to book it. So if you're able to have these conversations and book homes off season, Airbnb is a great option. If you're flying in the on season and traveling in the on season, hotels might be your more affordable and better option in terms of service. If you have any flexibility in your schedule, I would suggest trying some last-minute good weather travel. This is more for the local stuff. If you live on the West Coast, you have a lot of opportunities to drive between 5 and 10 hours and be somewhere awesome. So if you can, capitalize off of last-minute good weather. That way, you can take a weekend, drive up to Mammoth Mountain in California, and have a ski trip. And you pay a lot less because people were expecting bad weather or it was off season and they didn't go. You went, you capitalized off of it. Boom, last minute, good weather, good travels. This is kind of how I like to do it. Now, I understand not everybody has flexibility. If you don't have flexibility in your travels, I suggest doing your research and taking a look at your options before you go. So like I said, Airbnb versus hotels. Off season, Airbnb. As long as you can make that barter option, I think you'll get a really good deal. On season, you want to stay in hotels. Start with Google Flights. Check for flights on Google Flights, look at all the different airlines and see what you can find. But the best deals I think you will find are on Skip Lagged. Travel during the off season, catch that good weather when you can, and if you can't, fuck it, there's always next time. This is Trippie Bree. Thank you guys for coming to my show, and thanks for checking out my stuff. Check me out on the other socials, and I'll see you next time.